All right. I think we're all in. Hey guys, it's Nathan. This is my first Nerd Herd. I don't have all the graphics loaded in, but we don't really need it for what we're doing tonight. Um, but what we are going to be doing tonight is we're going to go through. Let me turn up my little audio thing here because it looks like it's kind of quiet for y'all. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so um, yes, we're going to be doing some Pro Tools type stuff. So, to make sure that this is working, I'm going to move OBS over here. And I'm going to transition over to that. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, I have a pre-made Pro Tools setup here. And basically, the main rundown of how the overall interface of Pro Tools works is you have your main session window right here. Right, so this has got all your tracks, it's got all your controls, it's got your play headers, it's got your, slip mode, shuffle spot, grid, whatever, your count off meters, tempo, all that awesome stuff. If you go over here to the right, I'm on an ultra wide monitor, guys. Every digital mixer, I'm just going to say it now, every digital mixer should be mixing with an ultra wide monitor. All you guys need it. Trust me on it. 16 by 9 is not enough. You need an ultra wide. Over here, this is my mix window. This is where I control the faders. So if I try to play something right now, you can see a bunch of stuff pumping through, but nothing coming out of the mains. But if I do that, you can hear a little bit of something, right? Let's set that back to 0. Turn that off. Also, I don't know that it's capturing outside of my desktop audio here. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay. Well, you should be able to hear it over the mic. I did not realize that it wouldn't do it that way. That's fine. Let me just turn up my main then. It might be a little bit loud in my house, but that's okay. All right. So, anyways, that's how my overall setup is. Now, you can see I've got an instrument track here. I've got it already preset. But basically, if you want to do an instrument track like that, you go up to your settings, or your little bar up here. You click on track, click on new. This is going to be very helpful for you. Okay. I almost always do stereo unless it's vocal. But you do stereo, and then you can select what you want. Now, normally with keyboards and stuff, I just do an instrument track like that. And then I can insert by clicking on, you see where it says inserts A through E. So if I look at the second track I just made, you can see there's these little boxes here. You click on one of those, where the little circle is, and it's got this no insert, search, multi, recall, save track, and I/O. You don't want to touch these ones right now because you're just beginning. But what you want to look at is that multi-channel. Now, if you're like me and you buy a lot of plugins, you're going to have a bunch of stuff in here. I got the whole ERA suite in here, which, by the way, the ERA suite is free if you made an account, by the way. Avid's got their own stuff, which some of it's junk, but when we get into compression, the best way to learn compression is with their Dyne 3 compressor limiter. Yes, I said it. I got some Melodyne. I've got the Meta plugin. Also got Mic Locker. Convology. Love Convology. Spitfire Labs. Everyone should have that just to start. I haven't used much of the loudness stuff. Okay, I'm a big CLA fan, but I'm also a big fan of some of the perfected and also the algorithmic based like vinyl stuff, that kind of thing. I think it just adds a natural air to some recordings. Not everything, but some things. But yeah, I've got Echosphere and Epic. If you buy Epic, Echosphere comes with it, so just use Epic. I got Mixdown. I've got CLA's 2A, his 3A, and his 76. These are very powerful, very, very powerful compressors. We'll go into that too. Got the W43, and we got Waves Real Time. So I got 2 auto-tune plugins. And SK10, which I think is another loudness type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy since I no longer need him. Delete. Okay. So you see me adjust the mic every once in a while. I do apologize. My mic stand is good, but this microphone is heavy, so it might move around a little bit. So let's pretend like I just added Spitfire Labs, and now I want to play it. What gives? I'm hitting my keyboard. There's nothing coming through the system. Well, Pro Tools is stupid. Unless you understand the interface, it's going to be the dumbest system that you've ever used. But once you understand it, it will stay with you forever. So you can see if I do just a basic C major chord, it actually tells me what it is. If I do a C over B, well, okay, not quite C over B, but you know, if you do, I guess more like C add B. But if I do that, it shows up there. If I want to do a D chord, it's there. If I want to go D minor, it's there. You know, here's E minor 7. Okay, I hate that it shows up like that, but that's okay. But you can't hear it. The reason why you can't hear it is because you didn't turn the recorder on. You click that little red button, all of a sudden, that track becomes alive as soon as you hit that little red button. Now, whoa. All of a sudden, everything came to life. You can start playing some stuff. Okay? You can do all the black keys that you want. All right? So that's that. Now, if I want to do something even more crazy, and I want to add a vocal track, let's do a mono audio track. I'll just hit that button. All right, now I do this. Ooh, I'm gonna have feedback because it's feeding right straight through to my system. So, which is great. I'm glad that's working. This would be much more easier if I had headphones, but that's okay. I wonder, can I not have that do anything? So if I do this, all right, cool. I can do it like that. So I can record audio with my fader turned down, but because I didn't change my gain level, it's not going to affect anything. All right, so now you click this little red button at the top middle here. That's your record enable. Basically, anything you do from this point on, be careful that it's what you want to do, because otherwise you're going to screw something up. All right, so I'm going to play a little quick ditty. This is the most basic, you know, I'm not a pianist, I just want to warn you. This is going to be the most basic chordage that you've ever seen, but we're going to be able to do a lot with it, and you're going to be able to hear what I'm trying to do. So, I know my mic position isn't great because of my stand. I am getting a better one, I just don't have another, I don't have the money right now. Okay, so here we go. Praise the Lord. See, look at. I'm not a pianist. I'm going to try that again. This is actually a good time to show you how this works. You can just go ahead and select everything and delete. All right. Okay. All right. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. And that's all I'm going to do. So that vocal probably sounds awful. Let me turn it up. Ooh, let me kill that. Now let me turn it up so I can hear it. All right. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Okay, so that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Let me delete that little end right there. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. So, oh, come on now. What? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I forgot you have to do it manual. Okay. There it is. Okay. So, yes, what I just did right there is I used my tools up here to switch around. Now, a lot of people use that tool, and that tool. That's the grabber tool, that's the time selector tool, and that's the expander tool. A lot of times they use it all at the same time. So they've got this bracket, and it's right there. It's actually really, really slick. So, I'm going to see if I can find... All right. Praise the... So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and do a deletion there. Then I'm going to select these two. I'm going to control click them. Oh, come on. Oh. Oh, really? It's not doing it. Okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me do it before. Why is it stuck? I should be able to move these around. I think I know why it's stuck. Because I was doing it a MIDI. There we go. Let me bring this up just a little bit. There it is. Praise the Lord. So I actually just showed you a very rudimentary example of what pocketing looks like. That's the most rudimentary example of pocketing. So there's some terms you're going to have to know. There's pitching and pocketing. Okay? So when you pitch something, obviously you're pitching the tone, you're moving it around and making it try to work. When you're pocketing something, what you're doing is you're doing what I did right there. You're moving tracks independently of each other to match up either according to the beat of the song or according to the feel that you like. So pitching is adjusting the pitch, and pocketing is moving the individual track around. That's a very, very basic example of that. Now, let's go ahead and do some Melodyne. So we're going to go into... Actually, we're not going to do some auto-tune. What we're going to do is we're going to learn how to compress. So I'm going to go into my Dyne 3 compressor limiter. All right. So, compression. You really have 3 different forms of compression that you can do. Now, there's going to be people who go back and forth on this, but this is generally how you want to do it. So, the first of the 3 ways that you can use a compressor is as a limiter. You can use it to basically clamp down your sound and say, well, when it gets to a certain decibel point, it's never going to move higher than that. It's just going to stay clamped right there. A lot of people use limiters and really, really crunched in compressors on a master bus if they're doing stuff live. The reason why is because a lot of venues have a volume limit. But if you're mixing, you can actually use it as a way to kind of push your sound a little bit and get some more drive, which leads me into the second thing that you can do with a compressor is push your drive. So how does pushing your drive work? Well, you can see here in the compressor, there's this ratio. Now I want you to ignore a couple knobs real quick. I want you to ignore knee, and I want you to ignore release. You don't want to look at that right now. They are useless to you. What I want you to look at is your ratio, your attack, your gain, and your threshold. Those are the 4 knobs I want you to look at. Now I'm going to explain your attack last so that you can understand what your release is and then understand what the knee does. We're going to work backwards with that. But your threshold, not your threshold, your ratio, what that's going to do is it's going to say for every 3 decibels that comes into the preamp, it's going to clamp down by 1 decibel. So that's why they call that a 3-2-1. Now, a lot of times, you're going to see people say, I do a 2 to 1. So they drop it down 2 to 1. You can see how that adjusted this here. If I go back to 3 to 1, now it's, oh, every 3 decibels it clamps down. Now, every 2 decibels it clamps down. You can see the difference. If I set my threshold lower so that it's right on the center point, if you look from here to here, you can see there's 2 boxes. Now if I increase that to 3 to 1, now you can see it's a little further out, and it looks more like a 3 to 1 ratio should. So that is what compression does. Now, I put that compressor on this audio 1 just so you can see what happens. Your threshold, which is your decibel point, and all of your decibels, by the way, when it comes to compression, are measured in negatives. So you can see you got your 0 all the way up here, which is basically the break point of your preamp, and anything under that is a negative. So I'm going to bring it all the way down. It's going to be smashed in 3 to 1. I'm going to smash it 2 to 1 because that's what a lot of your producers will do, is 2 to 1 on a vocal. And just to make it easier, I'm going to make my attack and release really fast with no knee. So, oh, I need to restart that. Okay. So you can see what it's doing there with the dot. It's really smacking it. Now I'm going to do that again, and then I'm going to rip up the threshold, and you're going to hear exactly what it does. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Okay, so what happened there? Did it get louder? Yes, it got louder, but did the compressor make it louder? No, the compressor did not make the audio louder. What it did was I uncapped the threshold so that whatever came through the microphone preamp is what's going to come out of your speakers, which is sometimes a good thing, but most of the time isn't, because let's be real, you're not that good of a singer. So to add some spiciness to your sound, I'm going to go ahead and find the breakpoint. So where does my vocal average out? Praise the Lord. So my vocal is kind of right in here. Lord, His mercy is more. So I'm going to bring it down. Okay, now it's being touched by the compressor. Praise the Lord. Okay. Now we get to talk about gain. So what does gain do? Well, gain, if you've got your voice compressed down or whatever it is compressed down, but you still want to get some more volume out of it, you can take your gain and move. You can see when I move my gain knob, the whole line moves up. Now, Nathan, what's the point of that? You set a threshold, but then after it's done running through the threshold, you turn up the volume on it anyway. What's the point? The point is that when you add a compressor to anything within the chain, you're keeping it from peaking out. And that's the third method. Yes. Whenever you're doing these methods, you're actually using all of them at some point in time, whenever it is you're mixing. So you can either limit, you can build energy, or I just said it. You can limit, you can build energy, or you can keep it from peaking the preamp. That's your 3 different ways that you can compress. Yes, I did that in an example right here. I love being good at what I do. So anyway, we look at what we're doing here. You can see where my vocal is starting to cut in. Now, if I turn my gain up, I say this is what I want to do. I want to build some energy, so I'm going to turn my gain up. Let's turn it up. Let's see. It's a 2 to 1 ratio, so I'm going to go down to 2 decibels. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Okay. You can't really hear much of the compressor kicking in there because it's only in a 2-to-1. But if I go out to about, let's do a 4-to-1 just to have fun with it. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Now you can hear a little bit of grain in there. I'm not entirely sure what that's from. I think it might be because my computer is doing both encoding and also software encoding on Pro Tools, so I think it's getting a little overwhelmed. But you can hear it actually brought out some of that. Now let's see what happens if I move that compressor to labs. And I'm going to mute my vocal. So you can see it started peaking it out. I'm going to turn down that fader and see if I can. Okay. So it doesn't really do anything there. That's fine. I'm going to bring my compressor back onto my vocal. Okay. So let's go back 2-to-1. Awesome. We're back 2-to-1. Okay. So I've got my voice compressed in. I've built the energy that I like, and now I'm going to keep it there. Now I've muted the instrument track, and now it's just the vocal that I've got going right now. Praise the Lord. Okay. Now... oh, let's see. Now I think I want to do some auto-tuning. So let's go into Waves, Real Time. Now this is in the key of F, and I am in the baritone range on here. So I'm going to click on baritone, and I'm going to click on major key, F. Now, you can see some changes happen right there. You can see there's a bunch of notes where it says nope, 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 nope. That tells your auto-tuner what key you want your voice tuned to. Now, I'm going to make this speed as fast as possible with a 120 millisecond note transition. That's fine, and I'll do 100% correction. Now we can hear the difference. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Okay. That was awful. Okay, we're gonna have to look and see what in the world it did. Praise the Lord. Wow, that was bad. Is that really the key of F? That's what the chart said. Yeah, it's key of F. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Praise the Lord. I don't trust it. Praise the Lord. Yeah, that wasn't right. Mercy is more. Yeah, the chart said F, but it's definitely in D. So, okay. I was like, that sounded completely off. All right, so we're back to normal. You can hear what it sounds like. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Okay. So it's giving me a little bit of flexibility with that note transition, but if I slam it down, it's gonna be like instantaneous. Watch this. Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. Wow, that sounded bad. That sounded like my voice was coming out of a keyboard. That was terrible. I love it. All right. I'm going to go back to that 120 note transition because... okay, we're not going that high. I want to give a little bit of more natural to it. But you can see what it's doing there. Now we're going to actually change it. Because I love Melodyne. Melodyne's really fun. Oh boy, where's Melodyne at? Is it Avid? It might be under Avid. Actually, if I go to types, pitch shifter, crap. Melodyne, thank you. Found you. How you doing? What? Melodyne's already activated. What are you talking about? Okay, just go away. Stop it. Close. I've already... Computers. Okay, so... Oh, I think it wants me to update, but I don't need to update. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so I go to transfer... Praise the Lord, His mercy is more. It should have let me transfer it. Oh well, I think there's something wrong with the Melodyne plugin. It should let me transfer in the audio. Well, I guess I don't get to have fun with that one today, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why it's being cantankerous. I don't know. It's Melodyne. Anyway, so that's how you do that. But that's an overall, you know, how to use Pro Tools and the controls and everything. I'm going to go ahead and delete all this because this is all garbage. So, next time I do this... Ooh, I didn't want to do all that. Well, that's fine. Anyway, next time we do this, I'm going to do a more in-depth mixing session just to show you guys my process, how I go about it. Most likely you guys are just going to be along for the ride. So, I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed that. And yes, I will be getting better at piano before then. But in the meantime and in between time, I hope to see you next time. All right. See you guys. Bye.